been an avid reader for a number of years, and only recently have I started to think about non-fiction books in a different way. Beforehand I saw them as the evil other side of books, where it almost took away from me what books are about, fiction and imaginary world. But recently I started reading autobiographies and other political and economics books for my university course, and leading up to my university course, and it opened my eyes a lot about non-fiction. And now I spend more time reading non-fiction than I do fiction, and I thought I'd share with you 5 books. So the first book I've got is Out of Orange by Cleary Wolters. If you've ever heard of Orange is the New Black, it was originally an autobiography / memoir by Piper Kerman about her time in prison. It has been transformed into a Netflix series that has really taken the world by storm. Anyway, this is one of the main characters, Alex, in Orange is the Black, the real life version of her story. When they created the first season, no one had ever heard of. The original Alex, or Cleary Wolters as we now know her name is, was MIA. No one knew who she was or where she was, so they kind of made up a lot about her character, so it'll be interesting to know what actually happened with the real Alex and where that goes, so I'm looking forward to reading that one. The second book, as you can probably see that I have already started, is called The Numbers Game. It's a book about football, and it's not football in your normal sense. It's really football for mathematicians. Often people have talked about football being just a man's game, a game where it's about people kicking the ball about, but it's a lot more intelligent than that. Earlier this year I read Soccernomics and I read other books along the same lines, and it's come to me realise how much the football has become about analytics and everything now, and the numbers game really brings that mathematical side. I'm not a mathematician myself, but I love reading more about the economics of football and that kind of thing, and this really draws into that. This book is called Flashboys. I've read a couple of other Michael Lewis books, including Boomerang, which he wrote about the economic crisis of 2008. And he talks about millionaires and scams and the banking system. And as a fan of economics and wanting to understand more, I'm really looking forward to reading this book, and I think it's really relevant at the moment, and it's got really good reviews. So if you like economics and you like Michael Lewis, or if you haven't read Michael Lewis yet, definitely you have to read this. So my fourth book is The Election Notebook by Nick Robinson. So first of all, Nick Robinson, in case you didn't know, is a political editor of the BBC. He released another book called Live from Downing Street, Politics, Power and the Media, and I read that actually. I incorporated it into my personal statement for university. Britain has just had their general election in 2015, and it was one that was unprecedented. Well, not the election itself, but the result was unprecedented. It was expected to be really close, and in the end there was a Conservative majority. Something which, when you went from saying that any party could form a government, there was even talk of the SNP, Scottish National Party, forming a government with Labour. So, and then for there to be Conservatives winning an outright majority was really, really big deal. No one knew about this till the night. So yeah, this is interesting. But what's also interesting about Nick Robinson himself is, unfortunately for him, he suffered from cancer at the beginning of the year. And it says here about his personal battles to report it. He struggled very much with it, and he always said he was going to come back and report on the election. And I think this will make it a very fascinating read, because it's not just a report on the election, it's about a man who struggled to play his part in it, and I've always found the role between politics and the media so fascinating. The way they manipulate each other, and that is something I'm really, really looking forward to reading. Actually, it's probably the one I'm most looking forward to reading. So this is called How Much Is Enough. It's a book about capitalism. It's anti-capitalism book, it's against capitalism really. It talks about the economist, philosopher John Maynard Keynes and his view on economics and loose fiscal policy. And I've not read this book again, and they're all on my reading list apart from The Numbers Game, which I have started. And I think it's a really interesting book to read because I myself believe in a capitalist society. I'm very much more in favour of Frederick Hayek's movement of economics rather than Keynes. So I'm very much fascinated to read this and see whether firstly it will change my view, or secondly whether I will have a lot to say about it in regards to counter-arguments. I want to see how they argue against capitalism, because in this day and age, especially in the Western world, we don't see much of a push against capitalism in the US and the UK. Both countries are quite right within itself, so this will be really fascinating. So yeah, these are the 5 books that I'm going to plan to read for the summer in terms of non-fiction. I've got so many more planned. This is what I'm getting started with. I also have another vlog coming up about my fictional books that I'm going to read. To give you an insight, I've set myself a target of reading 52 books a year, so really that's one every week. We'll see how I get along with that, and I'll speak to you later.